there, everyone. It's Erica Leon, registered dietitian, and also certified intuitive eating counselor for midlife and menopause. I'm also an eating disorder specialist, and I've been doing this work for 35 years. I was having a very interesting conversation yesterday with a dear colleague who happens to be a psychotherapist, and we were talking about intuitive eating and how do you know whether you're ready for intuitive eating? How do you know if it's the right thing for you? And it's a really good question, and one I'm going to talk about for a moment. So, we know that when people are dieting, restricting their food, really struggling with staying the course with the diet, eating very little and then ending up binge eating, going off the diet, that's really not a very healthy situation, a healthy state for the body. And we do know that eating regularly, feeding your body enough, actually can be helpful in not binge eating. It can help you have your blood sugar stabilized and really feel much better throughout the day. Now, someone with a frank eating disorder needs very often to have a meal plan with really, again, regular balanced meals, but generally someone with an eating disorder gets a recovery meal plan from a dietitian who specializes in eating disorders. So what does that mean if you're somewhere in between, if you are recovering, feel like you're okay around food, but really want to finally make peace with it? Then it might be wise to work towards intuitive eating. But here's the thing about meal plans, meal patterns. For people who've been on diets for so long, who've been used to following rigid rules, being on Weight Watchers, keto, Noom, intermittent, whatever the diet plan is, many people that I've worked with are just honestly sick and tired of looking at something and having specific foods. It's very triggering. It makes one feel like you're going to be on a diet again. And if you're really looking to make peace with food, this is really not what you want. And so intuitive eating is going to be the right thing for you. If you're someone who is honestly feeling quite chaotic inside and you feel really worried what you're going to eat. I mean, if people say to me, I have absolutely no idea what to eat. I have absolutely no idea how to do intuitive eating. How can I go from these rigid rules to all of a sudden having like this ultimate freedom? It's really, really scary. Now, here is a situation where working with a dietitian, again, one who understands eating disorders, disordered eating, can develop some sort of structure. And it doesn't have to be called a meal plan, but it's really some structure around your sort of chaotic eating. And structure is kind of like, if you were riding a bike and you'd never ridden one before, you might have training wheels. Or if you had a broken arm and you had to have it set, you'd have a cast on it. It's not meant to stay on there forever. You're supposed to take the training wheels off. This is what a meal plan or a meal pattern is like for someone who has had chaotic eating. And so I do often recommend some sort of structure around this kind of eating. And you're still able to work on intuitive eating skills. You're still able to learn to listen to your body, perhaps while you have this cast on, while you're working with structured eating. You can still work on many of the principles, which might involve self-care. How do you take care of the body that you have right now? That's an intuitive eating skill. How do you learn to sense your hunger and fullness? That's something you can also work on, even though you might be having more mechanical type eating that's recommended by a dietitian. Many of the skills, like intuitive exercise. How do you know what makes your body feel good? All of these things are worth exploring while you may be having the structure of some sort of meal pattern. They're not mutually exclusive. You can be practicing intuitive eating skills even if you have an eating disorder, even if you're having a structured meal pattern. I have a wonderful handout which talks about some meal patterning guidelines for intuitive eating. And I also have a wonderful resource for you. I have an online course called Intuitive Eating Essentials for Midlife, Menopause, and Beyond. And it's very specific to the needs of women at midlife, because our bodies are changing. People may be having menopausal symptoms and really not understand what's going on. And I have a community of women just like you, all working to let go of diets, all working to make peace with food once and for all, to have food not be an issue in their lives, to not get up and have to worry each and every day what you're going to eat. Okay, you can reach me at erica@ericaleon.com. Bye-bye.